Hey everyone, it's the Everyday Tech back with another video, and today we're doing something a little different. We're asking the big question, is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra Street ill worth it in 2025? The S22 Ultra, man, this phone was a game changer when it dropped. Samsung finally brought the Note DNA back in a big way with the integrated S Pen. I remember being absolutely blown away by the zoom on this thing. Taking clear pictures of the moon, it felt like science fiction back then, and honestly, it still kind of does. Personally, this was my daily driver for a good long while. It was my go-to for everything. Snapping pics, jotting down notes during meetings, even some mobile gaming. It was a true all-rounder. But time flies, tech evolves, and here we are in 2025. So, let's dive deep and see how this former flagship holds up. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, the good, the bad, and everything in between. What were your first impressions of the S22 Ultra when it came out? Let me know in the comments. All right, design time. Even in 2025, the S22 Ultra just feels premium. The glass and aluminum construction is seriously solid. It's got that classic boxy Note design. Some love it, some, well, not so much. Personally, I was always a fan of the more squared-off look. But regardless of your preference, you can't deny the build quality. The Gorilla Glass Victus Plus is still holding up well, and the IP68 rating means it can handle a bit of accidental submersion. This phone was built like a tank, and compared to some of the mid-rangers I've been seeing lately, this thing still feels like a flagship. The display is another area where the S22 Ultra continues to impress. This 6.8-inch dynamic AMOLED 2X panel is just gorgeous. The QHD Plus resolution is still sharper than most mid-range phones, and the 120Hz refresh rate is buttery smooth. The colors are vibrant, maybe even a tad more saturated than some of the newer Samsung panels. Personally, I kind of like the extra pop, but what do you guys think? Do you prefer more natural colors or the more vibrant look? Let me know. It gets super bright too, so using it outdoors is never a problem. Even by 2025 standards, this display is top tier. Let's talk performance. The S22 Ultra came with either the Exynos 2200 or the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, depending on where you bought it. Now, there were some initial concerns about the Exynos version, but Samsung has really worked on optimizing things with software updates. I primarily used the Snapdragon variant, and honestly, it's still a very capable chip. It handles most apps and even demanding games without breaking a sweat. You might not get the absolute cutting-edge performance of the latest processors, but for everyday use and even some gaming, it's still more than enough. I remember playing Genshin Impact on this thing, and it ran surprisingly well. Did any of you have the Exynos version? I'm curious to hear about your experiences in the comments. Software updates. This is a big one. Samsung promised 4 generations of Android updates and 5 years of security patches for the S22 Ultra, which is fantastic. This means it should be getting updates well into 2027, which is a huge plus. It means you'll still get access to the latest features and security improvements. And remember when Samsung initially said the S22 Ultra wouldn't get Galaxy AI features? Well, they listened to the community and reversed that decision. I love when companies do that. Battery life. Battery life is always a bit tricky, especially on older devices. The S22 Ultra has a 5,000 mAh battery, which was decent when it launched. After a few years, battery health might have taken a bit of a hit, especially on used devices. I did a little test using it for a typical day, browsing social media, some calls, about an hour of gaming. I got about decent screen-on time, which is good for a phone this old. Of course, your mileage may vary. What kind of battery life are you guys getting? One thing I absolutely loved about the S22 Ultra was the S Pen. It was a game changer for me. I'm a terrible note taker with a keyboard, but with the S Pen, I could quickly jot down ideas during meetings, sketch out diagrams, or even annotate PDF. I remember being at a conference once, and the speaker was going a mile a minute. I was able to take detailed notes with the S Pen and even highlight key points. It totally saved me. Camera performance. The camera system on the S22 Ultra is still incredibly versatile. You've got the 108MP main sensor, the 3x and 10x telephoto lenses, and the ultra-wide The 100 times S-Pace zoom is still a standout feature. I took some incredible moonshots with this thing, and it's still impressive in 2025. Okay, let's be real. It's not perfect. It's a big, heavy phone. It might not be the most comfortable for everyone. Battery degradation is a concern, especially with used models. And while the performance is still good, Galaxy S22 Ultra often gets hot when I'm doing heavy activities like gaming and video editing. So is the S22 Ultra Street Ill worth it in 2025? It depends on your needs. If you want the absolute latest and greatest, then maybe not. But if you're looking for a premium experience at a great price, it's definitely worth considering. It's got a fantastic display, a versatile camera, solid performance, and continued software support. If you already own one, there's probably no need to upgrade unless you really need the latest and greatest. If you're thinking of buying one used, be sure to check the battery health and overall condition. It could also be a great companion phone. Maybe you have a newer phone as your daily driver, but you want something with a great camera and S Pen for specific tasks. Overall, the S22 Ultra is a testament to how well-built flagship phones can age. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.